All right, anywho, last Pioneer deck of the day, speaking of. Kethis, the Hidden Hand, is the cornerstone of this combo deck. So this is a self-mill combo deck. Basically, what we are looking to do is, with the card Diligent Excavator and Emry, Lurker of the Loch to a lesser degree, we take our graveyard and we fill it up with legendary cards. And then once our graveyard gets completely full with legendary cards, Kethis here allows us to recast those cards from our bin, and then we eventually cast Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, to allow us to win the game. We can also alternatively Diligent Excavator our opponent to mill them out. So 2 different ways to win via mill, either self-mill with Jace or by milling them out and then letting them go to draw and deck. This is a deck that saw some play in Standard. We've been playing it in Historic as well since it rotated out of Standard. I've liked it in both Pioneer and Historic. So it's our second time playing it in Pioneer, I believe. If we have an okay run today, I'll probably add it up on the website. Yeah, so like this is a metagame choice, which we could definitely get punished for or paid off for. So last time we played this in Pioneer, I had Oath-Akai as main. I don't know, we played against a lot of mono red today, so maybe I should put the Oath-Akai back into the main. It'd be, you basically make we're basically making a conscious decision that we're hedging mid-range and ramp and non-aggro matchups by putting the Oaths in the sideboard. So if you're expecting a lot of aggressive decks, I definitely think you should have the Oaths main. Hey, Sunshine, thanks for the sub-gift team. I do think that this archetype, based on how powerful it felt last time we played it, is one that's kind of underexplored in this format right now. I feel like people gave up on it too quickly after Oath of Nissa got banned, that it's still very good, even without Oath of Nissa. This hand's pretty good, has all of our colors of mana, has a Kethis in it. Looking for excavators as well as lands at this point. Gonna go ahead and bottom. Am I gonna bottom Tamiyo? Tamiyo kind of turns into excavators, right? Yeah, I'm gonna keep her, because I basically have 3 lands in my hand, right? With the Mox Amber. And like Lazav and Fblthp provide some card selection too still. I didn't update Stream Decker. Let's do that. Yep, looks like blue-red artifacts here. Little bit painful, but definitely the land we're looking for. We'll get to go. Land, Mox, Tamiyo, look for Diligent Excavator next turn. What does 1 point mean? All the details on how my deck queue system works can be found on my website here. Lazav is extra Kethis. It's not only extra copies of Kethis when Kethis dies, it's also extra copies of Diligent Excavator. It's a Diligent Excavator that you can cast from your discard pile. Hey, Volbeat, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. There's a lot of great people you can subscribe to here on Twitch. Thanks for supporting my content. Welcome to Hoaglandia. We could eat a soft stub here. Soft stubs turn into hard stubs later, though, so it's not really a card you can play around, because it eventually is better. I'm not going to attack because if they have, I guess if they have a haste creature, they're equipping it. All right, I'm going to attack. Yeah, Tuber, I had a card availability issue with my sponsor. So Feather will stay at the top of the queue, and I should be able to get stuff together to play it tomorrow morning. Yep. No, this was just the next deck in the queue, silly cheese. Okay, that's an Emry. So I can go Fblthp, see what we draw, Hope of the Ghirapur, and then Emry. Ooh, that's a good one. Spent a lot of hours watching your VODs at work, so it's only fair that I pay my Prime dues. Thanks for keeping me around, Joe. I appreciate it. I mean, to be fair, if they stub our board wipe, we can, like, get Kethis down and then recast it from the bin, too. I mean, even if we miss on drawing an untapped land, it's, like, not the end of the world. Because Emry plus Hope of the Ghirapur is a free blocker every turn. Vomit. That's really good. Well, shoot. Going to 5. That's probably the game, right? I don't know the mana to do the play you're describing, Toolboxer. And if I did, I could just Ruinous Blast, which would also be appropriate. Replay Hope and drop. No, because the Moxes don't make mana of any color, Toolboxer. The Moxes only make mana that's the color of the permanents you have in play. So that doesn't work. Always the next card, huh? Always the next card. We could have, in addition to having any untapped land, not any untapped land letting us Ruinous Blast there, a 3-mana Teferi also would have bounced the Ghostfire Blade, rendering their creature no longer useful. I mean, it's like not even worth mentioning Shrapnel Blast though. Like you should. Every amount of brain power you spend worrying about cards you're just dead to is brain power you could be spending figuring out how to beat the cards you're not dead to. So like talking about things you're just dead to is pointless and a waste of breath and brain power. Don't spend energy worrying about things you can't beat. Instead, figure out what you can beat and go from there. Is an Othakaya matchup? I feel like it's probably not, right? Like, their threats tend to get pretty big. It's definitely a Ruinous Blast-in matchup. Yeah, I don't think Oath is good enough here. The blasts are good. The random Fatal Push is good. I think this is fine. Yeah, pretty unfortunate that match. Like, he needed a Teferi, didn't have one. Stuff happens. Yeah, Marty, the Hydroid Krasis Nissa deck is good against control decks. Definitely Volbeat, we got you. We played Green-White Adventures. I don't think so, Wildfeather. I have Crokey's Bant Adventures in the deck queue that we're going to get to later this week. But we've not played straight Green-White. What are shillings for it? Why do I have 4K? Shillings are just a channel currency. Let you do some extra stuff. Let people bump things in the queue a little bit just for watching. Yeah, it seems fine. Yeah, I guess it needs a black source. Alice Stone, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Both the blue-red and soul decks we played against so far today have had some really good innovations in them. This one had the Royal Scions, and the one before it had the Saga and some other good things in it. Did I just mill them by mistake? It's been a second. Definitely should mill ourselves there. It's fine. I didn't mill myself because I know there's a black source on top of my deck. Hey, Sentu, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people you can send that to every single month on Twitch. Thanks for sending it my way this month. We played the opponent's archetype before, and honestly, it just feels very unbeatable when it has all the pieces come together. If it could always have Ensoul early, it would be great, but it just frequently doesn't. Looking for any land drop here, so we can try and cast this Ruinous Blast on turn 4. Milled over a Blooming Marsh, feels bad, man. Watery Grave, sign me up. Lazav lets me surveil into a land for next turn, potentially. That'll do, Pig, right? That's fine. We also have Vraska mana for next turn, too. Hey, Billum, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. Yep. Man. Who's got 2 thumbs instead of December Denial and Shrapnel Blast? This guy right here. Yep. And again, kind of that what we had talked about earlier today when we were playing games, that kind of illusion of choice here. Like I have cards that interact with my opponent's stuff, but just because I have interaction doesn't mean I have a meaningful choice to make. My meaningful interaction is mostly hoping, my meaningful interaction is scripted because they have a card that I have to answer I'm going to die. So it's like, well, okay, I guess I play my thing that answers your thing. How good of a fair game can this deck play? This deck's fair game plan is very reasonable against mid-range and control decks. Against aggro decks, you need to interact with them and then combo. So, can't block because of Gingerbread's text. Dead to Shrapnel Blast here. Yep. I don't think there was really a whole lot we could do about either of those games that match. Opponent just had everything they needed. They had Fast Scissors both games and Summer Denial to say no to our interaction. Not a whole lot of player agency there. Yeah, their first game, their hand wasn't particularly fast to start, but once it came together very hard, and then they had to Stubborn Denial yet again. One mana negate's really good, it turns out. Easy mulligan here. Yeah, this is fine, right? Yep. And again, that matchup variance, big part of Magic. When I built this deck, I made a conscious decision to hedge the main deck against mid-range ramp and control by not playing the Oathakayas in the main. So we're functionally much worse in these aggressive matchups than we otherwise could be if the deck was constructed differently. Yep. So we're going to take a hit for 4 here. If we can untap and draw a white source, Kethis can stabilize the board a little bit. But if we brick on... that, we're probably dead. I'm gonna double block and hope they have nothing, because if they have things, we're dead. If they do have an instant or sorcery here, it stops them from... stops Bone Crusher Giant from coming down this turn. I think of Gruul and Pioneer. I think there's a lot of different ways to build Gruul. So 4-color mana base coming back here to haunt us a little bit for sure. Let's go ahead and get our Vraskas in here, and our Othakayas, and a Fatal Push. Teferi Time Raveler is very bad. Jace Wielder Mysteries is unnecessary. I guess Hope's not very useful. Emry's a little bit slow too, though. I want one more blast in my deck. Let's give this a try. Yeah, this is great, right? I'm gonna go ahead and keep and bottom the Laz. This is actually probably one of our better hands here. I'm actually a little sad we have this hand on the play. This is the type of hand that could be good enough to break serve on the draw. When it went to 5. Let's just take Taylor and push her right off a cliff here, huh? It's a good pickup too. No play on turn 2. Feels good, man. It's gonna like stomp or lightning strike us into turn, probably. What's the best way to spend money in Arena? I didn't realize I could play Big Teferi or just buying booster packs, Justin. If you're still missing play sets of Shocklands, my recommendation would probably be buying booster packs where Shocklands exist. So the 2 Ravnica sets. And then just spend wild cards that you get from opening packs on I'm gonna go ahead and eat Fblthp here. What did they keep? I don't know what a Pummeler deck looks like. From my understanding, there isn't a Pummeler deck that's like going around in this format, so to speak, that's like accepted as good. So I don't really have feedback on how to build it different or better. Looking for a Kethis at this point. Just leave this up here so it can block haste creatures potentially this turn. There's a command somewhere that explains how the Kethis combo works. Marty, did you kill the Kethis combo command? Did that die? Did that die in the great command purge of 2019? Marty took all the commands out behind the shed. Yeah, basically. Wow, we actually haven't milled a Kethis yet. Where are my dudes at? Alright, sweet. There's a Tamiyo, so that's good. Kethis win, got it. So if they don't poke Tamiyo here, I get to, yeah, they have to do that at this point, or Braska here. Is there really not a Kethis in here still? Good golly. That's wild. Get some more looks here. Alright, there's a Kethis. There's also only like 21 cards in my deck, so I think I'm actually going to plus this to find a Kethis. Actually, I guess I might as well just down tick. I want it guaranteed, right? I think we're going to win this one, chat. Looking to do the Othakaya kill next turn. I guess there's technically only one Mox in my graveyard at the moment, too, but I get a lot of looks at that. Sorry. My opponent's board is currently irrelevant, so I'm just putting my extra hand up there. So how we actually win the game here is we self mill here, and we flip our entire deck into our discard pile. And then what this allows us to do is cast Othakayas over and over and over again using Kethis the Hidden Hands ability. And then Othakaya eventually kills my opponent. Save targets, always healed. So we activate Kethis here, exiling 2 Fblthps. I don't want to draw cards with him anyways. And now I cast a Mox Amber. Make white. Cast Mox Amber. Save targets, always healed. Okay. I'm also going to mill them while we do this. It's very easy to mill them out with Hope of the Ghirapur as well. So, like, these hopes are free with Kethis in play, and they're legendary. So you, like, cast a hope. You just get to, like, turbo mill them. So, like, we kill them two different ways here. You can kill them with Othakai. You can also kill them with Ghirapur. Opponent concedes because I see the writing on the wall. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Yeah, Hope's okay. I don't know. Is there a way you're directing the mill at the opponent automatically? Yeah, in Magic Online, since it's the superior digital client, it has the option to save targets and auto-yield the triggers. So unlike Magic Arena, where you have to, like, keep clicking on your opponent and, like, keep hitting resolve, you can just have it roll through automatically. These are some of the many features that Arena desperately needs. I think this deck's reasonable, Esper. It's our second time playing it in Pioneer. My configuration today is a little bit less hedged against aggro game one, and we're two for two playing against aggro decks so far, which feels a little bad. If we hit a white source in our 2 draws, though, the stand's gonna be real good. Or a 1/3 blocker. Sick. That's perfect, because it's a 1/3 blocker, and it helps me surveil into a white source. I think I'm supposed to bottom that. While I do want to get to my 4 mana plays, I think it's most important to unlock this Othakai ASAP. I mean, in many ways, Magic Online is superior to Arena, including the amount of support Wizards of the Coast gives it in terms of competitive events. There are more competitive events on Magic Online in one weekend than Magic Arena has in a calendar year. Mox does not tap for colorless. Colorless is not a color. So, I said we were going to be okay if we found a land. We didn't find a land and we're not okay. Weird. Weird how that works out. One more shot at red here. If we find white. If we find white this turn, we should be okay. That's like a double-edged sword, white mana. You're like, all right, we'll take it, but we're not happy about it. It's the monkey paws white land, yeah, for sure. The nice thing about this Urborg here is if we find another white source that doesn't hurt us, we can then tap Mana Confluence as a swamp and not take damage. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Mox doesn't count enchantments. Agree. Okay, it's taking 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Maybe I should have left this back to chump block. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I should have left that back to chump block. It could be 3 points of life higher here. Hey, K-Smith, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So green, black off Urborg, Vraska, kill this. So green, blue, black, black. Tamiyo, pick back up Othakaya here. Go. Hey, Fblthp, thanks for the 3/4 of a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Light them up. They're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 do, 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 do. Are they dead? Can we win from here? I think there's a chance we can win from here, right? What's optimal sequencing look like here? So I can go Mox Amber, mill myself, and then I can tap this for blue and tap this, and then I can cast second one of these, and then I can say Mox target. Let's save targets always yield on this for now. And then I can go black, white, green, cast Kethis. I can plus Tamiyo, name Mox. We miss, but that's okay. So I can activate Kethis. Exile 2 Ruinous Blast. And then I go cast Hope for free. Mill 4. Cast Hope for free. Mill 4. My opponent conceded. I don't think they were deterministic there, but we're pretty likely to win. I'm going to get to cast Mox, and then cast Emry, and then we hit another Mox. Yeah, we were probably deterministic from there. We hit another Hope as well. Sick. That game was a good example of why Othakaya is important. Like I said, if you're expecting a lot of red aggro, you should definitely have all 4 Oaths in the main deck. Yeah, from positions like that, Hope definitely adds a good deal of consistency. TZT, I don't always acknowledge the shilling bumps just because they're not actual money. So they'll get added at the end of the stream. I have a queue that shows me them. Yeah, the position we killed from there was really impressive. I agree, Dougie. We were on basically nothing and then all of a sudden kill you. Yeah, like I said, I think if you asked me, Jeff, what's a powerful, underexplored thing in this format, this would be my answer. If you play Oath in the main, you cut the Jace to the sideboard, and you probably trim some of the Hopes or Emrys, or the Terrarions. The Terrarion's been a card that hasn't been great. I definitely wouldn't shed tears cutting that card from the 75. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. They should let me surveil before they kill this, technically. They technically gave me extra information that they didn't have to. I don't have an answer offhand to theoreticals if cards get banned. I think the deck's still playable without Teferi, but as far as like what would you play, I have no idea. We've played Witching Well in the historic build. I could see maybe that being the right choice for here as well. It's definitely an option. I think I'm bidding that. I'm just like looking for Kethis at this point. We've not Teferi, Emry, Hope locked anyone today, but we did do that last time we played this deck. How does this deck win without Kethis? By being a mediocre Motley Crew beatdown. If you watch the last time we played this deck, in Historic, we beat an Unmoored Ego on Kethis, and the last time we played this deck in Pioneer, we beat a what's it called on Kethis? A Lost Legacy. I think I'm just supposed to Tamiyo plus for Kethis here. It feels bad if we miss and they Murderous Rider us, but I want to just use my mana this turn. Yeah, it feels bad, man. No Rider, no Trophy. I need to untap with this card. Well, that's disgusting. Deal. Good golly. One just has like nothing going on. That's kind of annoying. Well, I haven't found any Moxen yet either. That's super unfortunate. Yeah, I think I'm picking up 3 mana Teferi here. And then I'm gonna go do this, do 3 mana Teferi, bounce your thing. And then I can sack Hope after I hit them. And then we can probably kill them next turn. Although our hits have been real medium. We're 32 cards into our deck without a Mox so far. I guess we know they can't interact with us this turn, though, which is nice. No, I don't need to sack Hope. They can't interact with us this turn. Mill 2 spells. Feels magic, man. So I think my plan here is we start with Kethis. I think we Kethis, exile these Ruinous Blasts to start. I need extra Laz, doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to play Tamiyo to start here. And we'll Tamiyo plus for a Mox. Because Tamiyo basically gives us 6 chances to find a Mox. All right, 4 Mox and 20 cards. Good lord. All right, so then we shock this in. And we cast Fblthp. Emry. Oh, I could cast Emry. I'm dumb. I was thinking Emry cost me 2, but it does cost me 1 because Kethis reduces itself. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack them for 1 and then sacrifice this. I just need to hit a Mox so we can snowball from there. So they're gonna get a zombie here. But I think we're pretty close to deterministic. We just need a Mox. There are 4 Mox and 9 cards. Woo! We hit a Mox. All right, we gave him a bunch of zombies, but we did it. All right, so now we need this Mox to hit a Mox. Oh, that's not even true because we have it, right? Okay, so we're deterministic now. We fumbled into deterministic. So the Mox is deterministic because the Mox lets us cast Emry. And then Emry decks us. And then we can cast Fblthp to draw a card with, we can cast Fblthp to draw a card with Jace in play. Yeah, we used Jace for the turn already. Okay, so the mid-range plan is Teshar and Vraska. Like, we were exceptionally unlucky that game, and we still just, like, ended up slogging through, right? Yeah, we were unbelievably unlucky there and still ended up winning the game. I think I like this. Teshar plus Vraska are like our random grindy cards. Vraska's really good because she destroys a lot of graveyard hate people can bring in. Teferi Time Raveler also bounces or temporarily removes a lot of graveyard hate. Hey, Jerry, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I don't know if Witching Well's good enough. I only have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess I have 15 blue. Witching Well's probably worth testing. I haven't liked this card. Witching Well was good in the historic build. I think this is our third match with this deck. This is our third match with this deck. There is not Mana Symbol. There's not an automated way to have it know what. There's no API for Arena or for Magic Online. It's not about people. The reason why the record command is like that is because the built-in MTGO bot record command half the time is wrong. So I turned it off so I didn't have to tell people it was wrong. Is Teferi answer for ley line? Yes. You can also just, like, be a scrappy deck and attack people. Yep. Right on time to drop. Welcome to the party. Ashiok's very good against us, just like it wasn't standard. They have a removal spell for Kethis here. We're going to be in a lot of trouble, which is pretty likely. I've not liked Terrarion. I'm not sure that I would play that card again after today. I'm just getting milled over anyways, doesn't really matter. You know, maybe I should have played Hope there. So that way I could pressure this with Hope next turn. So they're going to play a blocker out here. Oh, actually, I guess this works out okay. Because I get to go ahead and attack. I get to attack Ashiok for 2 here. They block 1. And then I go Teshar, play Hope, get my thing back. Just leaving anything on top here because they're just going to mill us anyways. Just want as many cards left in my deck as possible. You have a Languish here. I'm going to Expel. Ballista, sure. I'm going to kill Teshar and then exile my graveyard, I assume. MTGO traders ended up being out of stock for Feather cards, so that one's going to get played tomorrow. Last Hope's a little scary. Weird that they didn't... They must have another card to play this turn, right? Because they could have cracked the clue, drawn this to try and play a land off the top. That's a pretty good one. We could potentially combo from here, right? Every cast an historic spell. How do we kill them this turn? If we milled a Kethis with the Diligent Excavator, we could have if we milled a Kethis with the Diligent Excavator, casting Mox Amber would bring the Kethis back into play, and then we could potentially get going from there. It's unlikely, but possible. So, target player dealt combat damage, can't cast none. Until your next turn, target player who has cast dealt damage. I think I just hope them, right? Keep them from casting Liliana this turn. Because they're just going to kill it anyways. No, we don't. Because I have to choose what Teshar is targeting when I cast this. So I can't mill Kethis with Diligent Excavator and bring it back with Teshar at the same time. That's not a legal play. Oh, come on. We were going to beat everything else. I don't think we're beating that one. That's super unfortunate. I think Scavenging Ooze is going to do it. Oh, they're just eating a bunch of things now proactively. Okay, deal. Okay. Yeah, the opponent should not have activated the Scavenging Ooze proactively like that. They definitely should have left the activations up. And I want to leave up black mana here, I think. Because I can't currently make that color of mana. So they eat that. We got what? We got a bunch of shots to Kethis here, right? That's a Mox Amber. That's an Emry. So now with this, I float white mana. How many Kethis are gone is a good question, because they did get some earlier. They were exiling stuff earlier. There's one Kethis gone at the moment. Is my Jace gone? Oh, my Jace is gone. We're still on the self-mill plan, though, right? Until I find a Kethis. And this is it, right? Like, we have to go this turn or we're done. So there's 3 Kethis and 16 cards here. All right, we got one. All my Mox Ambers are in my bin. I think my only Hope is in my bin. I boarded out the last Hope because I'm dumb. So this lets me get back Diligent Excavator though, right? And at this point, am I milling them? Or do I want to finish milling myself? I probably want to finish milling myself, right? Yeah, please don't do that, Kevboth. There's no need to deride my opponents with name calling. Yes, my opponent definitely made a mistake, and yes, my opponent would be in a better spot this game if they hadn't made a mistake. Can we mill them? I think so. We're gonna find out. So I think I'm exiling Laz and Time Raveler here. Actually, I think I'd rather mill Laz and Hope, because the Hope I can't sacrifice. I don't have another one. Oh, I can exile Urborg. That's great. Oh, right. Teshar's not optional. So I should have exiled Hope because it's coming back now for no value. See, that's a mistake on my part. Forgot Teshar wasn't optional. I also want to leave some cards in my deck because I want to cast Teferi and use it to bounce my Mox to replay them. Hope, you can't sack Hope because it doesn't have a legal target. Now, normally that's not relevant because you're able to what's the word I'm searching for? Normally you're able to loop them because they're legendary, but I boarded out one of my Hopes and they exiled 2 others, so I can't do that here. I think we're still gonna be good though. Opponent's down to 23 cards in deck. You think I should start milling myself? No, I think we're okay without doing that, right? Yeah, we should be good. Because I exile, oh, am I not okay? Math. Do I have another Emry in my deck? I guess that doesn't really matter. So, if I exile 2 Moxes here, I can then, if I exile 2 Moxes, I have 1 trigger, 2 trigger, and then bounce, get a 3rd trigger. I'm 1 short. Yeah, the fact that I didn't exile Hope is gonna cost me this game. The fact that I didn't exile Hope and then Teshar had to bring it back is gonna cost me this game. So if I exile 2 Mox, I go cast Mox, cast Teferi, mill 8, and then bounce Mox, replay Mox, mill 12. I don't actually know the contents of my deck. I could figure it out, but we're running out of time. All right, I'm just gonna try and well, we can't do it otherwise, so. Okay, so I'm gonna do these 2, and then I'm gonna mill myself with these Mox and hope for the best. Hey, do I have another Teferi in my deck? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's another Teferi in my deck. Their deck counts at 15. If I leave both Mox, I can cast Tamiyo. Am I milling myself? I think I'm milling myself with this one, right? No, we mill them. So this is 1 mill, this is 2 mills. Tamiyo picks back up as a 3rd mill. That's still only 3. I need to get to 4, chat. I think I have to mill myself, right? Oh, Tamiyo's a mill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Okay, so we got there because we have Tamiyo in hand. This has been an experience. Definitely not getting through this in a paper tournament without a slow play warning, huh? Definitely not getting through this in a paper tournament without a slow play warning. So, opponent made some mistakes. I made some mistakes. My deck's busted, so my mistakes didn't matter. That's true. You could just play this deck a ton to figure out some of those play patterns. I accidentally typed in their clock. All right, I actually need to run to the restroom really quick. We're gonna play the last 2 matches with this deck when I get back. Actually, I enjoy this deck, but I need like a minute to run to the bathroom. BRB. That was sweet. That was a good find the lethal. Good solid find the lethal. Gosh, it's noon already? Time flies when you're playing Pioneer. Should probably make some lunch. Feels magic, man. Feels magic, man. Am I throwing back Emry? I'm gonna throw back the Teferis. Emry could get Kethis going. He mills us a little bit, which is nice. Hey, Nathander Wise, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm gonna microwave some lunch. So while it feels bad to mulligan to 5 and get Thought Seized, I think most of these Thought Seized matchups are good matchups for us. Oh, we are playing against Jim. You should be able to watch this matchup from both sides by heading over to Jim Davis's stream as well. As always, do not tell me the context of his hand or vice versa. Yay, magic! Isn't magic fun? I enjoy magic. It's my favorite. That's true. You don't need to tell Jim the contents of my hand. He's been very rude and knows it. All of our secrets are belong to Jim. Jim's really pushing my buttons over here. Hold on to that for now. Hopefully we can draw a, 2 or 3 mana legendary, and then we can, play Excavator and then trigger it. I'm going to concede to a 5 mana Bolas here if that's what he's got. Any big payoff here is probably just lights out. Yeah, just don't have the resources to keep up from here. You could use a quick one after the last match, huh? Last match was a little rough. Alright, so Narset sounds good. Teshar and Vraska sound good. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I imagine the sweepers probably aren't stellar. Huh? What's my last cut here? Just like Lazav? No, I guess they're killing a lot of our stuff. I want my Teferis. I want my Emrys. I like Fblthp in these fair matchups. Hope of the Ghirapur's a bit less good than it otherwise could be against discards-based control decks, so I think that's a fine trim. Fblthp's a key. Fblthp's also very important to keep in when you're keeping in Teshar. You want a critical mass of things to bring back with the Apostle. No, it's not Anaronk, because this card replaces itself. I think this card is much better. You're thinking about the cards in the absolute best case scenario. What you need to consider them in is the average case scenario, and trying to keep synergy heavy cards together in a matchup where our opponent has an incredible amount of interaction is less than ideal. I did. I watched episodes 3 and 4 last night between the gym and dinner. And episodes 3 and 4 were definitely better than 1 and 2. The way that they, like, nonchalantly, like, expect you to figure out that, like, the different scenes you've been watching are not linear is really awkward. I don't know if I like that part of how they've done it so far. It feels really weird. The fact, I don't know that, like, non-linear is strictly bad so much as it wasn't made abundantly clear that they weren't non-linear. Yeah, the fact, I don't think the issue is that the story, like, the different scenes are non-linear so much as that, like, they weren't like, hey, by the way, this is non-linear. That's my biggest issue with how it was done. It's a good, cheap Pioneer deck for MTGO. I'd recommend going on Magic MTG Goldfish and looking at the different deck lists posted there and looking at the prices. Good objective data there to find. My attack here is probably bad, but I also kind of expect this to just die, so... I think it's intentional. I really feel like it wasn't intentional. They didn't, like... It's like they very nonchalantly brought up, or, like, expected you to realize the fact that they were non-linear. And I didn't feel like once I was realized that they were non-linear, it added any sort of value to what was going on in the show. Feel kind of dead. I don't know. This deck's weird. You often feel dead and then suddenly they are. Hard to tell. I have more leftover pasta that I made last week. About to got maybe 1 or 2 more days left in it. I forgot to plus this because I was eating and talking, but it's getting attacked anyway, so it doesn't really matter. No, I didn't play the Witcher games. Sure. Yeah, I'll leave this back. We can double block this Siphoner. Alright, that's a Kethis. Unfortunate that they were able to kill my excavator last turn. Well, I guess I also don't have a Mox, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. So if we draw... If we're exceptionally lucky, we could draw a land next turn and then cast Kethis, trigger Excavator, mill Mox over. But pretty low chance of that happening. Yeah, I guess that's true. Assuming they don't kill this, drawing actual Mox could be fine too. Huh? We're just dead, right? I guess we can... And we're taking at least 6, which turns off the Mana Confluence. Yeah. That's tough. We took 3 mulligans in 2 games, and then got Thought Seized a bunch. That's how Magic goes sometimes. Glad to have you here in chat, Volbeat. If you're someone that largely watched on YouTube too, you should know that I read every comment that's posted on my YouTube channel. So if you ever want to ask a question or pick my thoughts after while watching, if you can't be here live, I read everything on there. Much like my Twitch chat, I don't leave any of the spaces that I create online unmoderated. 2-2, playing for the 3-2, as always. What happens if I comment with something that I don't like? I only remove people's ability to comment on YouTube if they are rude. If you say something that's just incorrect through not understanding why it's incorrect, I do my best to try and educate, just like here. But if people are rude, I do remove their ability to comment on my YouTube channel. If you are someone who's a sub, and you think I might have moderated you out of being able to make YouTube comments, feel free to message me, and I will be happy to give any sub back their ability to comment on the YouTube channel. But I am pretty liberal with peoples who make comments to remove just because. What if they're politely bigoted? Then they're gone. And there is no such thing as politely bigoted. Alright, so we're open for a black source here. Fblthp would also be okay. Yikes. Probably dead. I don't think we have time to stumble here. Rebel Master kills us real quick. Colorless is not a color, so no. All right, so against aggro, we want our Oaths, we want our Ruinous Blasts. We want Vraska Golgari Queen. I think I'd rather have Hope than Emry, just because Hope lets us combo from tighter spots with Kethis. Although Emry lets us combo from tight spots too. Fatal Push is probably useful. Let's trim a Tamiyo. Hey, Fox, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate that. It's an absurd amount. All right, so yeah, I guess we keep this. Mana Confluence is our blue source, hurts a little bit. They're not Coke Gaming, Trey. Come on now. Sometimes I feel bad that I don't get as over-the-top excited for large donations like you see on some other channels. I don't know. It's also different, I think, when people give larger donations on this channel compared to other channels, because like most other Twitch channels, when people make a donation like that, it's just a donation. Like here, it's like a transaction, right? Like I appreciate the bigger donations, like they're absurd. But like they're also buying a service too with it, right? They're not just like, thanks, Coke Gaming. Huh? It's possible I should have. It's possible I should have waited on this Mox till after I played the second Excavator, because I'd get 2 more mills off of it. If you only watch this channel and you're a sub, you won't get the Coke Gaming reference, but one of the Twitch adverts that's going around right now is apparently Coke gave $100 worth of bits to a whole bunch of Twitch streamers, and then they spent money on Twitch ads advertising that they gave money to Twitch streamers. I mean, I assume that they spent more money advertising that they gave a few people $100 than they did actually giving people $100. Would be my guess. bounce this, buy ourselves some time. That's unfortunate. This only makes blue and white mana, and this isn't a black source, so I can't cast Lazav this turn. Well, I think we start with that now. Okay, that's an Othakaya, sweet. Let's pop my hand out here. Cloudy and Rowdy, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Activate this. I don't really need a backup Kethis here. Now the question is, do I think I kind of want to just, like, play a pair of Fblthps here. And just, like, get some velocity going in terms of, like, how many cards I have in my graveyard. Hey, Drake Money, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. Also lets me draw a couple of cards. And go ahead and pass back here. Because, like, should they kill my Kethis next turn with, like, removal spells, I can Tamiyo it back, which is nice. And we're still at 15, which is not a ton of pressure, so that's good. Wouldn't be surprised to see them, like, end step, deal 2, untap, deal 2 more, since they have Soulscar Mage. They're killing Hope of Ghirapur. Weird. Is this also going to die next turn? Alright, so I think I just double block and kill Soulscar Mage here. I'm going to take 7 over here down to 8. Hey, Lighthammer, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I think I start with Lazav here and see what we hit. Well, that's 2 more Kethis, okay? Graveyard. Then I can play Tamiyo here. Can say Tamiyo, pick up Kethis, play a tapped land, pass. Yeah, turning Laz into Kethis doesn't really accomplish anything. That leaves me in a bad spot if they have another Glorybringer. I don't have any Mox in my graveyard, so without Mox in my graveyard, I don't really go anywhere by just like having a Kethis in play. Like, I don't get to cast a bunch of stuff. Whereas like now, assuming they don't kill any of my guys, next turn I get to turn Laz into a Diligent Excavator, and then I can play this mill 4 and be a potentially an okay spot. Well, we swung and missed there on a Mox. I did, however, flip double Ruinous Blast, so I could play Kethis and then blast the dragon. Alternatively, I could copy an Excavator and go for it here. There's only 21 cards in my deck. I think I'm just going to go for it. Because, like, they have Ramanap runes and Glorious or Ruinous Blast doesn't kill Karizev. If one of their last 2 cards lets them kill my stuff here, I could be in trouble. Really looking for a Mox. Did not find one. Banger is not exerted. It's untapping next turn. Alright, so the play from here is Time Raveler, pick up my Mox, right? This mills me 8 cards. All right, we hit another Mox. Sweet. Not completely deterministic from here, but likely deterministic from here. If we hit another Mox, we should be good to go. Oh, I have Hope of the Ghirapur in my bin here too still. Forgot about that. Okay, all right, we're deterministic now. My Teferi, my Jace came out this game, right? Yeah. Okay. So we activate this, exile, Urborg, and Fblthp. Okay, so this is the part where we kill them 2 different ways. So we're going to cast one of these, which will finish milling us. And now I'm going to turn off my auto yields, which lets me reset what my Diligent Excavators are doing. So the reason why we're doing that is... Oh, I can't cast these yet. So when I cast my next thing here, I want these to target my opponent now because we're going to mill them out. but we're also going to, in addition to milling them, we're also going to, we're also going to make mana to cast Mox Amber here. Alright, got it. Alright, game 3 on the draw. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Yeah, seems good. Yeah, Fblthp doesn't really block here. I'm going to trim that and put the Tamiyo back in. Tamiyo's really good. You mill them, or you cast Othakaya a bunch and kill them with the mana you make from looping through Mox. So, like, I don't actually think this deck is that offensive. If you think about how this deck works, you can interact with this deck with Graveyard Hate. You can interact with this deck with creature removal. Like, the number of interaction points you have to beat this deck is huge. So I know that it's kind of tedious to sit through when your opponent finally gets going to combo off. But, like, all things considered, when you think about the other combos that exist in Magic, the number of interaction points you have for this combo is way higher than the average Magic combo. I think Tormod's Crypt is better than Ashiok because the matchup where you want Graveyard Hate, you need it to be fast and cheap. Tormod's Crypt, speaking of. Speaking of Graveyard Hate. This can trade with Goblin Rabblemaster next turn, which is probably what we'll do. Just try and stay alive till we can grind out a little bit extra value. Rabblemaster attacks as a 4/2, which is one of the many reasons why this card's much better than Legion Warboss. If they have a cleave here, we're probably dead. Yeah, I think we're dead here. That's close. I don't know. I feel like this deck feels powerful, but this is also... I think this deck is one of those decks where it's easy to fall into a trap where... the deck feels better than it is because when you win, you spend a lot of time mechanically winning. Like, the number of minutes you spend winning is really long, and the amount of minutes you spend losing tends to be short. So it's definitely a deck I'm interested in working on more on in this format. If so anyone wanted to submit it again, like I think Terrarion's been pretty mediocre. I'd probably replace that with something else. I don't know what exactly offhand. Whether or not the Oathakaias are in the main or the side can vary depending on what decks you want to hedge, but I think this is a neat and pretty unique combo that is one I've enjoyed playing. All right, so we are going to dive on into some Historic on Magic Arena up next. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll. I get everything set up. When we get back, we're going to be playing some green-black mid-range /rock in Historic on Arena. Thanks for hanging out today, folks.